What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another NFL Showdown edition of our DFS content here at Fantasy Sports Insight. I am Chris, also known as Hold the Door DFS. Super pumped for this Thursday night matchup. We do have some high-scoring offenses. We shouldn't have a lot of defense. Should be a lot of really good DFS goodness between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. Just a couple things before we get into the content here. First thing is on our FSI Twitter account, we are doing a $100 cash giveaway directly to your PayPal once our YouTube channel hits 1,000 subscribers. So check that tweet out. We do have it linked below, but you do need to be following us, retweet it, like it, and make sure you are subscribed to this channel. So if you have not done that, that's my second thing here is click below. It is the best way that you can repay us, and it costs you absolutely nothing for our free content. If you have not been checking out Gator Guys soccer content, it is just absolutely phenomenal. One of the best in the industry. Again, if you want any of our premium core plays, you can also find that at fsidfs.com and sign up to get into one of those Discord channels where core plays will be posted and access to our coaches. So let's get into the slate here. We will start out with some odds. If we look down here, it is almost a pick 'em. Carolina -2.5 favorite, 51.5 over. Anytime Atlanta plays, I think we just know there can be fireworks in the offenses. So Christian McCaffrey, as I'm recording this, is still not activated from the IR, but they do have until, I believe, 3 or 4 o'clock on Thursday. So it definitely could be a wait and see type of thing. And then also, I think we're going to want to look at the news that comes out on him. If, for example, he is, in but limited, I don't know that you can pay 11.8 for him. If he is in and just ready to play, then I think that obviously really hurts Mike Davis at 8,800. I think he probably becomes unplayable at that point. And actually, it makes me like somebody like Teddy Bridgewater less too, even though I do know he will be passing to him. So not that I won't increase that, but if he is a full go, Atlanta can get gashed on the ground. So I think you could see them going that route a little bit more often than they have with Mike Davis. So the Carolina side, again, a lot will hinge on CMAC. So make sure you are just watching the news. If you're in our Discord channel, we will post, if he's in, if he's out, what his limitations are and what we project him for this slate. Assuming he is just out, not playing, Teddy Bridgewater has had a great connection with Robbie Anderson. Just the targets 8, 5, 12, 11. And Robbie Anderson has always been a big play guy. And you see look at all the long catches. He's got to catch over 25 yards in every single game except for one. So Robbie Anderson can absolutely get it done through those air yards. He can definitely produce in this phenomenal matchup against Atlanta. So Teddy Bridgewater, favorite connection with him is Robbie Anderson. Obviously, it's going to be expensive, and we're going to have to figure out which way we want to go with these studs. Next on Carolina is Mike Davis. As I mentioned before, if we see CMAC in, they really says he's going to still use him, or rule, but I don't think, I don't know. You can't just assume he has the similar role and he's going to be able to pay off that $8,800 price tag if one of the best running backs in the league is back in the game full go. So monitor that situation. DJ Moore, 8,200, has definitely been on fire the last few weeks. He had 2 touchdowns last week, a 74-yard touchdown, had 93 yards and 5 catches the week before. So 8,200, I think he's a really nice price, especially because you're getting similar production, but cheaper compared to somebody like Robbie Anderson and certainly the pass catchers for Atlanta. Before we go down too far, let's just talk back with Atlanta. I think we know that Matt Ryan is a phenomenal cash play. Basically, he has just like the volume that he's throwing is pretty insane. Now, Todd Gurley does have one of the best matchups in the that he can possibly have as well on the ground. But again, they just don't play any defense, so they're always behind. I do really like just kind of my first builds. I like taking Ridley or Julio like in the captain role, and then pairing him up with Matt Ryan to get that correlation. You could even just play both of them and not play Matt Ryan. I just think that Matt Ryan has a pretty safe 15 to 20 point floor here. So at 11,000, I think in cash games, that's definitely viable. I don't think that he is going to be in the captain spot in a takedown type of lineup because I think you're just not going to be able to get enough pieces. So Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. Julio Jones is not on the injury report at all. Calvin Ridley has just been an absolute monster. 19, 19, 24, 19, 32, 32. I mean, the only game he had the dud was against Green Bay, where he had 5 targets and didn't have a catch. He has been one of the best receivers in the league. And then right next to him is Julio Jones. So I don't know. I mean, obviously Julio Jones is getting a $400 price difference. I think we've seen more consistency out of Ridley, but we know Julio is just as good, and he's played really well lately too. So I don't have issues with Ridley or Julio. I like them both. I think they can both be played. You could even just play them and Matt Ryan and then just fade a stud and not play Teddy. And then maybe you just go down and you play somebody like DJ Moore. Yeah, it's what's going to be tough for me is to run back like Matt Ryan with a pass catcher and then also Todd Gurley. One thing that just, Thursday night games always kind of worry me from a short week management load type thing, load management with a running back, especially someone like Todd Gurley. But again, it's like the best possible matchup he can get. So he's a phenomenal play at 8,400 and definitely in play as a discounted skill player over getting, if you don't take both of the stud receivers for Atlanta. Hayden Hurst, not as good of a matchup here for him, but 6,400, he's getting a nice discount. He's seen, I think, double-digit points in at least the last 2 weeks. So he is certainly in play at 6,400. Moving down, we have Samuel and Gage, who I think are phenomenally priced here in the mid-range. I think they have a lot more upside than the kickers here do. The kickers definitely have a 10-point game in them. But I think if Gage or Samuel either catches a touchdown, they will be outscoring the kickers. So I think both of them are in play. Like I said, both kickers are in play. Defenses are a strong pass for me here. I just don't see, a lot of turnovers and things like that. So in this range, I think it's Samuel, Gage, Sly, and Koo. And then I think now you jump down to probably my favorite value is Brian Hill, 2,200. I mean, he's got like a 4-point floor this year. He's doubling his salary every time this year. So I don't know how you can't really consider him. And a lot of it's through the air. So if he catches 2 balls, there's a good chance he has 2 to 3 points already. So I think he is a really nice value. He might not have the upside of your guys like Gage and Samuel for like 2,000 or 3,000 more, but I think he can make a lot of lineups work using someone like Brian Hill, because I think it allows you to do something like Julio, Matt Ryan, maybe even run it back with Teddy, and then you can still go down here, use Brian Hill, and actually you can fit in another stud too at this point. If you take a route similar to this, maybe you want to run it back with a receiver like DJ Moore, and then you still have you're pretty close to getting a kicker. So maybe you go DJ Moore captain, and then you can run it back with a kicker, or you go down from Teddy. Say you go Robbie Anderson. Then you can get a kicker. So I think there's a lot of builds that Brian Hill really allow you to get skill players and correlation at the same time, which we know in NFL Showdown that correlation is so important. game scripting, correlating if you want to win a GPP. Now, if you're just looking for floor plays and you just want to get, the most floor points as possible using quarterbacks, pairing them up using kickers in cash games, I have no problem with that either. But I think if you are looking for that path for a takedown, you game script here that maybe Carolina gets up early and then C-Mac is in and then they're going to be running the ball. And then you fade Gurley, make sure you play Matt Ryan, Ridley, and Julio. Or maybe you pivot one of those Ridley, Julio plays to Gage or Hurst for some savings. So I think all of them are certainly in play. Again, this should be a super fun slate. Be on the lookout for the CMAC news. Get over to fsidfs.com. Get into our Discord channels. We have some free ones as well. But make sure you get to that Twitter post. $100 we are giving away once we hit 1,000 subscribers, and we are at 942 as I speak. So we are not that far away. And once it hits that 1,000, we are going to be drawn for that winner right away. So make sure that you are ready to go. All right. Thanks for listening.